Hey guys, hope you're doing well and great. Alright, welcome back to the content for today. Today I'm going to be sharing with you some powerful concept, alright, which is not based only on my experience but based on other people's experience as well. So this is very important, something that you guys have to accumulate to be skillful and knowledgeable for anything that you do for your business, right? Uh, Today's topic we are going to be talking about is the power of others, right? What does it mean, right? So I'm going to give you like three examples of the company that you heard about, and they have used this same concept to build their business empire. So, number one is Amazon, right? So, if you guys know it already, what is Amazon about, right? Earlier, when Amazon started, nobody knows it, but the guy Jeff Bezos, he knows that what he want to do. The reason because he has this clear concept, as we talked about earlier, that he want to start an e-commerce business. People do not believe in him, but at the same time, he got somehow, small amount of people who has kind of relied and thought about his plans and all those things, and they found out that it could be something that possibly, but they bid on his ideas, concepts, thoughts, right? So now, if you look at the little journey of Amazon, first they start with a book and they come up with the audios and all those little, what do you call it, the products, right, for kids. And that's how they were able to collaborate with Target, and but then later on it was a disperse, but that's a different story, right? What we are trying to talk about today is that if you looked at it, until Prime service was released or launched by Amazon, right, the business was not that good, even though they were in the market for more than 10 years, right? But what leveraged them to expand their business was the amount of supplies and the varieties of supplies. That was something that they lack to have those products available on their platform, which is Amazon.com, right? So people wants to buy it, but they couldn't find it where they want it. And for a department, for PMD department, which is like a product management department, to bring in a lot of varieties of the product and to have a warehouse and to have the supply and distributors and to have these net 30, 60, 90s, all those things, it requires them a lot of resource. But the smart way to think was they used this concept, the power of other. What they did, they start inviting people to be Amazon associates. So what you do, I believe that you guys already know what is Amazon associates. It's like you want to sell something, right? But you need a platform, right? And if you can get a platform that everybody knows it, then that's where you are getting free marketing. At the same time, you're able to expose or share to the world that your product is available for them to buy. So the first thing that Amazon did was they invite millions and millions of people to contribute. So what happened was this, they, instead of setting their own distribution center, trying to contact with different product suppliers, manufacturers, all those things, they put these things to the people who would like to be an associates with them. So which basically means that you become the person who is taking the responsibility of your product, contacting the suppliers and having the storage by yourself. Amazon just give you the platform to put your product on their platform, and they do the marketing and build their database, right? So what happened here is that when people try to search for products which Amazon necessarily do not have in their warehouse, they were able to still get those products from the people who were the associates of the uh, Amazon, right? So that's how they invite other people to build their empire. So if they would have tried to build their own, they wouldn't be able to. Very similar to that, if they would have tried to managing everything, it would have required a lot of amounts for them to invest all the capitals, all those storage area, right? So they didn't do it. So they, instead of that, they come up with a, how can we use other people resource? How can we use a small entity to be in our platform so that we become the main stage, right? Where things are exposed, a marketing channel where all these other people, the small vendors, are backing up the entire platform itself. That's how they were able to build up the product line, millions and millions of product category. And yes, since Prime has come up with it, people were able to get those products within 2 days, within 3 days, or compared to other shipping time period, right? So the second company that I would share would be eBay, right? eBay was just an e-commerce classified website. But then again, here's the problem with eBay was that people were looking for some products, maybe used or new products, right? Maybe cheaper price or something unique, antique pieces, something like that, right? If you know with Mark Cuban, I believe he bought his private jet from eBay, I believe. See, you can now think about it. So what happened here is that very similar to eBay. eBay was just a classified website. It was big, but they were not able to monetize at point of time because they need some people to engage on their product. So again, here eBay used this concept, the power of others. What they did, they create the same pool like how Amazon did it, and then create a system to bid the products, right? So bidding the products becomes a sort of a platform where people like to engage on auctions, people like to bid on things because it just gives them some sorts of, I won't say that it relates with ego, the ego buyers, but think it this way, as a business owner, right? You do not need to create your own warehouse and all those things. You just have to build a brand strong enough, communicate with your people, communicate with your network, and communicate with your audience and come up with this idea or a platform that people will be able to participate using your platform and at the same time monetize it. All the management is going to be done by your platform, wherein they just have to focus on the fulfillment of the product. So that's how eBay was able to come up and lead the market. Now recently, very similar concept and very similar strategy was applied by Shopify. So if you looked at it, Shopify was just easy to build website, right? A portal. That was it. But then it wasn't making that much money. So how did they start? Because they bring the same amount, the same concept of people to sell their product. So now what happened was Amazon was probably maybe charging too much of commissions or what do you call it, the sales transactions fees for their suppliers or with their associates, right? Or probably eBay was not that kind of engaging anymore, or maybe there was a lot of scam going on with the product with the eBay platform. Now, what Shopify did was that they gave the power to those seller, the small seller, to have the full control of their e-commerce platform. So Shopify become the independent e-commerce platform for those Amazon sellers, those eBay sellers, and that's how all these people move. Not only move, they just have another source of marketing channel or say platform to sell their products. So who are those sellers, right? The sellers are the people who sells or who has this e-commerce platform with the Shopify are the one who has experience with Amazon Associates, the guy who has already their product with eBay, and now they have full control of their business through Shopify. People want independence, remember it, right? Everybody wants to control their own thing. People want more independence. People want more higher rate of margins and profits, right? So Shopify become the platform. See, they could have charged like eBay or Amazon, whatever the transactions fees, they could have charged, but they charge on a subscription basis. But there are transactions fees for them to transfer whatever the money from the Shopify account to the bank transactions. So those are little things that you don't even have to worry about it, because if you have high number of sales, those little chunks of subscription fees, platform subscription fees, or the money transactions transfer fees are not that much to be worried about it. But you have full control of your product. You can update it. There is no such guidelines or restrictions, very similar to what you call it, the eBay and Amazon. All right, so guys, you now understand, if you want to build an empire, if you want to build a strong business, you may not be able to do it by yourself. If you want to just be an Amazon, have your own warehouse, have your own supply chain, call over the distributions, it's going to cost you a lot of manpower, it's going to cost you for a lot of resource, it's going to cost you a lot of time. But the best way for Amazon to do this, upgrade your business strategy or take the leverage of other people, was using the power of other. Very similar to eBay, very similar with Shopify. So now here's what I want to share with you. I have this book actually, right? But while I was reading all this book, this thought comes to my mind. So I want to quickly share with you before you get confused, or if you're in the journey of a business to expand your business. So this is a very good thing for you. I would like you to read these 3 books, right? I'll share you one. So this book, well, I'm going to be using this book topic, right? I hope we don't get a problem with using somebody's book topic, right, for this content topic. So this book, The Power of Others, well, you can buy it from Amazon, eBay. It's very cheap. I think less than $10, because it's a very old book. I don't know when it was published, but I believe it's been more than a decade it was published. This is something which you really want to have it in your library, or in your bag whenever you travel. You can read it whenever you have time. You can read it. And this is one of the books. The second book would be, I want you guys to read this book also, the 48 Laws of Power. This book will help you to understand the psychology of building an empire. This book talks a lot about hundreds and thousands of years ago, how kings and kingdoms and empire were built. People who betrayed, people who backstabs, and all those things you learn from this book. I'm not marketing, I'm not making any money, I don't have any affiliate, I don't do affiliate, by the way. Right? So you don't have to kind of worry about, I'm not telling you anything, right? The last thing that I want you to is read this book. It's called The Innovator DNA. There's a lot of good ideas about how to, have this mindset of entrepreneurs or innovators. I'll finish this book. This is my second time. I really like it. So here, one thing that I want to share with you in this chapter number 5, discovery skills, right? It says thinking outside the box often requires linking the ideas in your area of knowledge with those of others who plays in a different box, who are outside your spheres, right? Innovators gain a radically different perspective when they devote time and energies to find and testing idea through a network of diverse individuals. So that also means that if you are trying to come up with a new idea, a new concept, you probably may not find those ideas within your friend circle, within your network. It's going to be all stale story, uh, twinkle twinkle little star. Yeah, you don't want that. You want to think out of the box. But where does this out of the box mindset will come? It will come when you network with people. Now, if you do not have the time to network with people, you get the resource. Content like this. You can share me your thoughts. You can ask me questions. Share your questions, your thoughts, your suggestions on the comment sections. I will try my best to help you out. And the other thing would be, if you don't have the time to network with people, watch people, other podcast interviews with big entrepreneurs, right? Since I was a kid, right? Since I was in the 7th grade, I believe, or 6th grade, I always like to read business. So what I used to do was, we subscribe a newspaper. Back in the days, they used to have a newspaper. My first thing that I looked into, I do not understand that point of time what is a stock market, but I like to read the news of what's going on in the world related to different kind of business, right? And at the same time, I always buy a business magazine. I didn't have the money, but what I used to do was go to these bookstores, buy old, what do you call it, backdated, maybe a year or 2 year old books, because it were much cheaper. Instead of $10, you could have buy just for 50 cents or something. But the idea is still there. It's in the book. The contents in the book is still there. It just, the time has changed, but the time, this does not change what is the concept or the ideas in the book, right? That's how I used to kind of work around. So I've been in this business for some time. There's a lot of failures. There's a lot of small achievements here and there. But then the passions that I have is to know more about how business work. I'm not perfect. I can assure you that, right? I'm not great. That I can assure you that. But what I can assure you is that it gave me a kind of a positive passion to go through and meet peoples in that business line, right? So I've learned a lot of things, but there are something that you always needed in your life, which is reference, right? A reference point, a resource that you can always go back and refer to. So these books that I've shared with you, I would suggest you to keep these 3 books, so that anytime, whenever you are not motivated, when you are lost, or you do not know what to do, and you're not growing, or you are not passionate much about it, just go back and read this book. It will really help you out. All right, so just to give conclusions on this content for today, we are going to be. What I want to share with you is use the power of others to grow. Because if you want to run alone, you may run fast, but you may not run for long. But if you want to run far, right, run with other people, be with other people. You need other people to surround with you, to support you, to encourage with you. Not only that, if you are trying to build a team, you need a good people of a team, right? So now what you have to do is, as we have discussed in earlier videos, think about a brand. Have a great mission on the brand. Have the great purpose for the brand. And once you build that brand, bring other people to that network and become the empire, not the empire, become the platform to help them out, right? Provide them the convenience way, the easiest way. The best way is actually to be the bridge. Sometimes that's why we see a lot of consultants make a lot of money, because they're the bridge, right? A lot of information people want to pass through from A point to B point, but they need a consultant. So consultant company, agencies, they make a lot of money. Lawyers are the bridge between you and the legal things, right? The court, whatever. The lawyers are another consultant, right? They are the bridge to help you out from A to B, right? In your problems, in whatever the situations. So very similar to that, be the bridge for other people, serve them. Great example is a toll road, right? you pay for the toll fee to toll roads, right? The reason is because if you take the same highway, it probably takes 2 hours. But if you pay one more dollar, it takes about like 45 minutes using the toll road, because that becomes a bridge. But for the bridge, you have to pay. So if you become the bridge, people will pay you, right? If you become the great bridge that people can move fast, people can have the ease of transactions, ease of, more of a convenience way using your platform, then of course you're going to be the next billionaire. Don't worry about how it's going to happen, but think out of the box. Alright guys, until the next video, please stay in tune, and also subscribe to the channel if you haven't. Also sharing me your feedback, questions. I really appreciate that you guys has been participating in the previous content and shared me a lot of how you felt about the content. It really encouraged me, and that's the reason I'm trying to bring in the positive way, the best way, based on my experience, how I can help you out to achieve your goal. I don't want to set a dream that just bursts, right? I want to set a dream that builds up the empire for you guys. Alright guys, take it easy. Cheers.